Australia has a senator called Lidia Thorpe. Lidia Thorpe is an indigenous activist, and let's just say she's a lit fuse. She's friggin' lit. I'm not knocking her. She's doing her thing. She's from a different background. She's been very successful with what she's done. She's made it all the way to the top, so good luck to her, and I hope she does well. But she has just lodged a racism claim against one of the most left-wing institutions in our country, which I think I'd be right in saying has advocated for certain critical race theory issues and issues that you might describe as woke. So this is the Greens website where they have their policies against being anti-racist and things. I just want to point this out at the beginning. I'm going somewhere with this. Like minority, 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 smiling, 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 smiling. I'll come back to it, I tell you. But the Greens' plans for anti-racism trading for federal MPs, we'll get to it, national anti-racism strategy, make hate speak illegal. So you go in there and you boo a footballer you don't like, happens to be a colour you're not, hate speech, and you're on a register for all time because they've got a national hate crimes database. But if you come take a look at some of these things, this is where I'm going with this. Smiling, happy, looks hopeful. Smiling, happy, laughing, I would say. Happy, but then they get to the one white, severe, disappointed 23-year-old white girl that's disappointed in everyone and angry, and you're in trouble now, and I'm going to take you to the Australian Human Rights Commission. Someone's actually got the job of building this website, and they scrolled through, happy white girl, wife material white girl, traditional looking white girl. They go looking for the pictures. It's so funny. But the Greens Party has a plan to deliver $5 million, which isn't that much, but for the staff to deliver a strategy to the Australian Human Rights Commission to create an national anti-racism strategy. And they're going to be the first ones that are going to be affected by it. I'm telling you, Lidia Thorpe's not dumb. Everyone gets stuck into her, but she's got weapons. She's clever. She knows how to get at people. And she just can't get at the right because we just don't care about this shit. It's only the left that she can take down. So she nests herself inside that place and bullies and pushes everyone around and challenges them and hurts them and tears them and denigrates them until they listen to her and they do what she says. She's fantastic bully. She's bullying on a whole nother level. And the particular racism issue that she purports to have, to be clear, she hasn't lodged it yet, but she says that her lawyer's in the process of lodging it. So we'll see if it goes ahead. But the particular issue she has, she says, is institutional racism. So we're going to see a very high-level institutional racism claim play out in what, it's not necessarily our courts, but it has some amount of power in this country. This is some of Lidia Thorpe's greatest hits. Ready? Go.
Early this morning outside a strip club in Melbourne.
You know what I say? You know what I say to you? You know what I say to you? And you?
You're a racist
penis.
dog.
Oh, penis. Oh.
Independent Senator Lidia Thorpe and her friends out to celebrate her 50th birthday are filmed arguing with a group of men.
All I want to say to the black brothers there, and anyone that we're fighting, any black man that stands with a white little like that, you can all get too.
How did someone get in Parliament like you?
They've been oppressed all their life in this country, and you let this little dog.
Senator Thorpe also taking matters into her own hands.
And you are not.
Get out of my...
The ABC can reveal Lidia Thorpe disclosed to staff she was in a relationship with ex-Rebels boss Dean Martin last year. We met through black activism and briefly dated in early 2021, the Victorian senator told the ABC. We remain friends and have collaborated on our shared interests advocating for the rights of First Nations peoples. But the relationship troubled Senator Thorpe's staff. At the time, the Green Senator was a member of the Joint Parliamentary Law Enforcement Committee, receiving confidential briefings about bikie gangs and organised crime. Her staff feared Senator Thorpe's relationship with Mr. Martin could create perceptions of a conflict of interest. Dean Martin has no criminal convictions, but has had a decades-long association with the rebels. Lidia Thorpe's staff urged her to disclose the relationship to Greens leader Adam Bant. Senator Thorpe acknowledges she didn't advise Mr. Bant.
When we have First Nations people working in the police force, you
Are you
act as
protecting
though,
the police?
No, I'm telling you
got
that
nothing
we
to do
also
with
have
that.
First Nations police who are doing their best
it's still
to
police.
improve the
Police
situation
are police.
across the
Doesn't
Northern
matter what colour
Territory,
you are.
not just
Police
in
are
Alice
police.
Springs. to
Shame on
improve.
you.
No, shame
Shame
on
on you.
You're the one who brings
They're
disgrace.
the ones killing our
you
people.
bring disgrace not
You tell
only
that
to
to
this
you
Senate,
move.
you are the
You tell that
disgrace.
to
So that's who she is. She's fairly volatile. She never actually ran as a elected senator. A better person, well, Richard Di Natalia, who had been around the Greens much longer than she had, and he was the leader of the Greens, did. He won. He resigned, didn't want to be in politics anymore, so she just took his seat. I think she may have won her seat back at the last election, so I think she has stood again since. But she's since left the Greens. She's out on her own as an independent. I want to follow this case as closely as I can. The problem with everyone's fear about wokeism and critical race theory and thing, you could bring a woke racism claim against the right-wing parties here and no one would give a shit. Like this is not going to change the way one person votes. No one can understand it, and skilled orators on the right-wing side will just handle it and manage it. And quite frankly, the activists that turn out to support them come across as unhinged. But our Greens party, which is like left of Stalin, like they believe in state-owned banks and like massive tax rates for absolutely anyone that does any good in life at all, they're going to have to take this seriously. And this is the point that needs to be made about the world. These shitty woke left theories that only disadvantage left-wing people. They don't go after like just right-wingers. They just go after each other, because if you threw some woke racism shit at me, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck, like shut up. I'm not racist, fuck off. And that would be the end of it. But when you go after some university professor or some Marxist or some left-wing politician, they have to take it seriously because it's their policy that they've adopted. They believe in it. I'm going to follow this closely. This is going to be exactly why the left always white ants itself, and I can't get forward anywhere. It's becoming a particularly volatile time in Australian history because the indigenous issue is the big issue in the country right now. And finally, we eventually have a left-wing government that's actually doing really well, and even right-wingers don't mind it. But here we go, the rug's going to get pulled out of it by its own people with its own crazy theories. And this is why not everyone's like a bolted-on right-winger that believes in super fundamentalist Christian shit. A lot of us just think the left can't work. There's just no way for it to function. It always defeats itself, and that the right is the only place that any sort of base in a country can ever take place. All right, I'm going to keep following this case. It's going to be great. Next video coming on it whenever I get some more news, but that might be months. Bye now.